such a nice guy. Hey.
I like how you say that right then and there. Perfect.
I am a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. What's up, everybody? Crapgamer here. Como estas? What's going on? It's Xbox Nation, and it's going to be a good show. Anytime a good game releases, it's going to be a good show. And not only has a good game released, but a great one has released, or it's about to. Tomorrow, or is it tomorrow, or is it Friday?
It's technically Friday or Thursday at midnight, depending on your local area. But a lot of the New York GameStops is like I'm getting mine at 9 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, I heard they moved it up for some people, so that's pretty cool. But anyway, if you guys are joining us, hit that like button early and often, and share out the link and stuff like that. Share it to your friends because we got a lot of cool stuff to talk about today. And shout out to Lito Papa. He's a badass mod. Already donated 15 earlier before the show even started, so it's going to be hopefully a great show. We got Mooch, the marathon man. What's going on, bro?
Woo! What is up, buddy? I am so excited. It is great Eve. And I'll be honest with you, I'm excited. I was telling everybody this. I'll share it with everybody. Fantasy football time, guys. The NFL's kicking off in literally day, not days, day. And we have football on the rise. I've got that going on. We've got the greatest game of all time coming out tomorrow, right? I mean, come on, guys. I mean, listen.
The greatest game of all time without a throwable axe. So make sure you throw that in there.
That is true. Yeah. I guess without a throwable axe, it'll have an asterisk, right?
Yes.
In the Hall of Fame of games. Yes.
Who needs an axe when you got webs to throw in people's eyes?
Be careful, Foxy. As you just said that, okay? You're no longer considered a gamer. So take it easy.
I just got recorded. I got recorded for the first time, guys.
No, but I mean, in all honesty, all jokes aside, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I am genuinely excited to play the Spider-Man game. I'm excited to see what all the hype is. I've talked to a lot of the reviewers, people that we all know and trust, some of the ones that have like pretty decent-sized YouTube channels. And I'll be really honest with you. It sounds like it's a lot of hashtag fun, which we've been saying since the beginning. It is going to be hashtag fun, but realistically, even the guys that gave it good scores of 8.5 and 8.7s and up, they all said to me, they said the one thing that you knocked out of the park, Mooch, is that realistically it does get repetitive. It is a repetitive game, but they said that the swinging around and certain other aspects keep it enthralled and keep you in the game. So ultimately, it's still a fun Marvel, superhero game, which we don't get very often. So I'm still looking very much forward to it tomorrow, and I'm sure the rest of the panel is.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Everybody's getting it. So
yes,
yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, literally, except for Salty. I don't think Salty.
They sold out of physical copies in the Earth. Yes,
did they? Yes. I did see an article.
States, but it actually went to Earth.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah,
I saw an article that said they sold out on Amazon or something like that. Interesting. Yeah. So we got Salty here. He's here. What's up, man? How's it going today, bro? Going good. You're having what I like to call a crap gamer day.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I've gone through quite a bit of that. It sucks. But that's what you lean on your buds, man. You're here. We're gonna have some fun, talking about some stuff. People are gonna be salty.
That's right.
It's gonna be a good time, man.
The salt levels are high out in the Twitterverse, but it's okay. Haters are gonna hate, and ain'ters are gonna ain't is the saying. Okay,
they hate us because they ain't us, right?
Yeah, that's right. Peanut butter and jealous.
They are 100%, man.
But I'm hyped to be here. I love talking to you guys pregame. You guys hype my mood levels up. So
really, I thought it was the Red Bull that did that. Come on.
Oh, it was that too. But.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're here to have a good time. Well, we got the always crazy Foxy, someone I've actually gamed with the past couple of days for the first time in a while. So
yeah, it's been a minute since we've been playing. Last time I would think it was COD and Gears. Recently, it was more COD. And Battlefield. So let me put down the controller for a second. Hold on. Okay. Yes, I gotta stay away from this beta. It's so goddamn good.
Oh yeah. So we were playing Battlefield 5 beta before Xbox Nation, and then last night till like almost 2 a.m. playing with Captain Stu Nuts. Modern Warfare 2. So,
yep. We had a full party. We were chatting it up about everything and everything. And then Crappy was like, oh shit, it's 2 a.m. I gotta go.
Yeah, it was. And I told Mooch this morning, I was like, dude, I stayed up till 2. I'm paying for it, man. And Mooch is like, he's like, I game too, man. And I'm like, dude, you got 4 hours of podcasting tonight too, man.
Yeah, I do. We're doing the Xbox Nation and going over and doing Brap after this. I've got news for you, Crap. Thank God for coffee. Okay,
Yes,
this show is brought to you by Juan Valdez.
I don't drink a lot of coffee, or hardly any. A little bit here and there, like ice. I like the ice kind of stuff or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't drink like hot coffee because I live in Florida. I don't know.
Yeah, for real. We're Florida. I drink iced coffee too.
Yeah, so the few times that I do drink it, which I've never been to like a Starbucks or anything like that, there's like this local place that I go to. So yeah, it's it's gonna be.
I'm the caffeine aficionado, so if you like a good cold brew, I guess I can hook you guys up with a nice little how-to to make your own cold brew. But that's for another day, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Iceman, he
nice.
says Crapgamer played after 12. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
I know,
it
right?
happened.
It's absolutely.
We have witnesses. We had a full party. It was fun.
It was a good time, man. You know what? I enjoy gaming. It's fun to play. Some people like Foxy and them play super late night, but I wanted to game and have some fun, so I did, and we had a good time. And it was shout out to everybody else that was playing with us, Scrotum and Tima, and some of Foxy's like IRL friends or something. So
yeah, from back in the day.
Yeah, we kind of got our ass kicked, but yeah.
What do you mean? It was fine.
Well, no, my bad. We kicked their ass. Yeah, that's what happened.
Exactly. That's what happened.
Can you guys confirm something or not confirm? I heard when you pre-order Battlefield 5, you get a pocket watch and a pair of spectacles. Is that one? No, I'm sorry. Wrong sheet. Wrong
what
sheet.
What would those be for?
I don't know.
Okay, now I want that. Like, what the fuck?
I can confirm, Mooch, that I did not get killed by a plane landing on my head.
Well, shout out to Assassin. Assassin said you die super quick in Battlefield 5, which I have the beta. I have it.
Play tonight with us. We're gonna hop back on after this show.
Oh,
well, I'm doing a podcast. Yeah. So I will be. I'll be on around midnight. Here's the thing. I played a lot. I know you guys. I'm shocked. Foxy decided to follow around Captain Stu Nuts for 6 hours last night.
Yeah, I took a break from Battlefield.
Destiny 2 launched last night to glorious applause.
No, I didn't see anybody.
Oh, by the way, crap, I took a picture. Like, I have like over, what is it? I have 16, 17 friends just at 9 o'clock at night playing. I didn't even take a picture after. It was probably 150 people. Listen, Destiny had so many people.
Wait, we don't need no evidence, okay?
hey, next week, Booch, let me tell you something. Yeah. There's going to be like 10. You know what I mean? It's going to be you.
Crap.
It's going to be
crap.
you,
Xbox,
and a handful of other people.
No, Xbox going to be playing Spidey.
This Friday and Saturday, the Pope is going to be, I don't mean the Xbox Pope, I mean the Pope in Rome is going to be playing Spider-Man. But within 14 days, he's not playing either. You know what I mean? Like, that's gaming. But I got news for you. The thing that is beautiful, and people don't understand this, I'm not hyping up, because the crap does a really good job of making me the poster gamer for Destiny. That's not what I really do. I can see why you don't like the repetition and the nonsense with all that. But the gear, now they have the drops, they have the bounties back, the story. You guys are, I don't like Destiny 1. There's no story. I'm not going to a Grimoire card. Fine. So they give you the story, they give you the bounties, they give you the greatest shooting mechanic. They let you play with this amazing community. They have everybody there. Everybody keeps coming back every 3 months. We're still shitting on it. So my whole thing is like, I don't know what else these folks can do. I think it's a damn good game.
Who's shooting? Who's shitting on it? Crappy, don't do that. What do you mean?
I'm not. Look,
Crap's not alone.
Budgie,
how dare they?
Man, he sells it better than
hire this man.
He sells that damn game better than anybody. It's trash.
I got to tell you guys, I've seen the light of Activision and Bungie again. Bungie.
Yeah. Yes,
Bungie. Yeah.
I've seen it. I paid my money and it's awesome. Hey, the cutscenes in the Forsaken are so good.
Yeah.
They're good. The music is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and if anybody has an extra code,
that's true.
Hey, give me a shout out.
The first two missions, the music Salt, right? The first two missions you go in for a second, like just the soundtrack was killer. It was killer.
Hey, if anybody has an extra code, give it to me, and I'll give it to Fox because I don't want that.
Yeah, I want it. I'm not paying for it, but I want it.
So Nathan Fillion didn't even do the voice work, but damn, it's so good. By what's his name? The Nathan Drake dude. What's
Nolan North?
Nolan North did it.
Doesn't he do the robot too though?
No, he's taking over all the roles. Fuck.
Yeah, it's Nathan North as this person and this person and the robot.
Nolan North as Nolan North in Nolan North does voice game. I mean, well, you know what it is, Salt. Let me tell you this much. Crap. I was a little harsh on Nolan North and Troy Baker, But after these other games that have come out, like Horizon Zero Dawn, and we saw that, and I understand it's not the finished project, but Cyberpunk 2077, and we see that, people are like, tell me which way I should walk. Well, the mission is clearly northwest of where you're standing. And I'm like, wow, is anybody who's reading this? Is this the same dial you press for like an automated like answering machine? I'm like, how do you get somebody with a little personality, a little class? And Nolan North and Troy Baker actually put their heart and soul into acting. For these
coming
roles.
Around to Troy Baker and Nolan North, Mooch?
What I'm coming more around to is give Mooch a call and give me a chance. You can't go wrong. I can do a lot of voices. Come on, I got the Megaton. We're doing Hadoukens.
Is give Mooch a chance. I agree
Hadouken.
100%. Hadouken. Yeah, he does. Yeah, well, people pay to hear that.
You know what's really funny, Crap? My best part about the Hadoukens is when you don't know if it's recorded or not. That's my favorite part.
Yeah, like
he's like, are you kidding me? Is that real?
Or the it's not my bag, baby. Yeah,
well, that's just a great catchphrase. Thank you, Austin.
Yeah. Or when you actually do find that picture where he wrote the book that is his bag.
Yes, this is my bag.
Yeah. I love that. But hey, I want to talk about the game of our meager existence here.
Yes.
You swing to the left, you swing to the right,
swing to the right.
Kick, yes. You chase pigeons.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. Spider-Man, the reviews are in, Mooch, and IGN says it's great. So I guess it's great. That settles that. Me and Mooch, we've been saying that for weeks and months that the game was going to be great, and now people want to think otherwise. But hey, that's ingrained in your head. When you think Spider-Man and great, you think Mooch and crap, because we've been saying that for a long time.
I can't help but agree, but it is great. Yeah. It is a great game. All right, listen, I think after I've watched a lot of the reviews, and shout out to everybody that does those great reviews, because the one thing that they do really well is they really don't spoil it. They didn't give away any of the story. I thought the reviews were all fair and honest, and they're entitled to their opinion. Yeah. The one thing about it, I think, coming from all of us, okay, Foxy, Salt, we've had some great conversations here on games, and Marvel superhero games as a whole are always fighting out of a wet paper bag to get out and try and get a decent review. Yeah. The Batman series, of course, did very well. Okay. We don't even have to say how great those turned out. Yeah. So Spider-Man, if you listen to even the Greg Millers of the world, okay, if you listen to all the reviews, they'll say that they enjoyed the game. They thought Insomniac did a great job with the jumping, the swinging mechanics. They thought that it felt very good. They thought the combat was very good. That's what interested me. A lot of the combat, and they said it is fun to go through and get as many of the Spider-Man costumes because they each have a different power. I thought this is all very good stuff. The reason that I thought was fair was they said we gave it this kind of a rating because this is one of the better superhero games we've ever played. And that crap is where the pedestal stands, is that it did so well because it did do all of a certain things, right? The mechanics are good. Story I heard is decent. Great fighting. The fighting mechanic has to be right in superhero games. They nailed it. And I think for superhero games, there's just not many on the table that have gotten over an 8. This one seems to have knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, you know what? Like, and you guessed, I think, what'd you guess? At 86.
86 was my guess.
It's like, look, and people want to kind of rub that in or whatever. I think that's the thing that kind of annoyed me a bit. Like, oh crap, you guessed 78 to 83, right? Which is, you can go back to the first time I guessed, and I said it'll probably land somewhere in between there, and it's like 87 right now. I mean, it could be a 86. I don't know, but the thing about that is, none of us are perfect. We guess these things, right? It wasn't that I didn't to me, anything between that is really a great game. Like you can't really argue 79, 80, 81, 82. That's fantastic. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know a single person that I associate with that thought this game was going to do bad or that wanted it to do bad or that wished it bad. People saw the screenshots from that one particular screenshots and said, hey, that looks downgraded. And so when you look at Digital Foundry, when they did their analysis on it, they go, okay, at that particular screenshot, what they did was this, right? Which was to save manpower. But that basically confirms that particular instance, they decided to go with something less demanding than what they showed originally, right? In that particular spot, right? And in some places it was upgraded, and some places it runs less than 1440p or whatever. So for people to go around kind of tooting their own horn or whatever, or, as far as I'm concerned, PlayStation guys, they didn't get it right either. Most of them thought that it was going to be 90-something Metacritic. I heard 95, 96. It's going to be better than, it's going to be better than God of War. I said it wasn't going to score better than God of War. You know, it looks amazing. It looks like a great superhero game.
Here's the thing, and I want to shout out, you know, even though Mad Jack, I know you troll a little bit, but you know, Mad Jack, I'm actually a huge fan of him, and I like that he comes to the channels and enjoys the show. Mad Jack says they literally said it was an artistic change. Mad Jack, listen, this goes for anything. This also goes for all the games that are going to be coming out in the next year or two for Xbox. Okay, I've been saying this for a while now. I'm almost done. I'm almost done with the developers because, you know, realistically, Jerry Seinfeld had one of the best lines of all time. He had a clip where he was doing some live stand-up, and at the end, he took some Q&As from the audience, and somebody said, "Jerry, what's your favorite episode of all time?" And he's like, that's really hard to answer because he goes, every episode is kind of like every gasp of air. Each gasp of air is my favorite. You know what I mean? Like, or it's like your kids. Everyone's your favorite. So my point being is that, like, realistically, when you're going to go ask a dev, hey, Dev, excuse me, Mr. or Mrs. Dev, could you tell me if you downgraded and did something not so great, maybe subpar in this area? Well, no, clearly you can see that what we did was we went ahead and changed it. I mean, that's their baby. They're not going to sit there and tell you, sure, yes, absolutely, we downgraded the shit out of that scene. So my point, right? So my whole thing is I'm kind of done with the devs, because when you have somebody in the gaming media or even a big YouTube channel that gets a dev on, all they can really ever do is talk their PR talk. And then when you have something like this where they're a little bit apprehensive and on the defense, they just negate everything. Say, no, you can't tell, right? If you take your plate, right? Everybody wants a food reference. Here you go. Yeah. And you go, there's a lot of salt in this soup. And you go back and you talk to the cook and you're like, seems a little salty. And he's like, you know what? To be honest with you, I used what the ingredients call for. It's 1.5 cups in the whole pot. Oh, really? How do you know he didn't by accident sneeze and put 2 cups of salt in there?
Hey,
he's not going to tell you he misinterpreted the salt measurement. Nobody would.
Yeah, speaking of salty, I was right on the money with the 87. Check the tapes, baby. I'm always right. Just kidding.
No, but you gotta throw that. You gotta. You know, you own it, man. You are right, man.
Oh yeah, man. I was right, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, anyway, when it comes to this game, it is what it is, man. I love comic books. I love Marvel. I love Spider-Man. Batman's better though. But it's still this game. You know, Insomniac put the hard work in, and you know we're seeing those results, man.
Off, yeah.
I watched the trailer, and literally all my future diseases cured. Boom! I didn't even have to play the game. So
I watched I watched a wound heal on my hand immediately. It was amazing. Yes,
my alcoholism was cured.
Immediately.
Yes, by watching a Spider-Man gameplay. I'm just saying, it's the be all. Back in the day, like Mooch, we could go town to town as salesmen, like in a cart. Here it is, the cure all. Spider-Man, swing to the left, swing to the right, punch, kick, amazing Spider-Man. It's great. Serve, you know what I mean? Like, heals all your ailments. Come on. You know, like, I think that would be that'd be something that would work out. Hey, over 500 watching already. Hit that like button, you guys. We appreciate it. You got a marriage proposal in the chat there, Foxy.
You jerky boy. Let's tell you, one of the funniest people. Very funny.
How you guys doing, man? Hopefully you guys are doing good.
Thank you. Hi, everybody in the chat. What's up? Appreciate you guys being here. I heard people saying something about someone taking L's or something. I don't understand that, because I mean, if the game is this good, is reviewing well, supposedly there's not even no downgrades, there's upgrades. I don't know. I think we're all winners.
We're just all winners here. Kumbaya.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like we're all winners here. No, listen. Nobody can sit there and call out one set of fanboys when you all were guessing 95s. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's just a moot point. It's a good game. We should celebrate the release of it more than the great scores. I get it. It's good fanboy fodder. I like the fanboy stuff. You know what I mean? Like, to a certain extent, as long as it's not personal and, like, you know what I mean, crazy insanity, then I think it's fine. You know, like, look, we're in football season. Anybody that likes the Steelers or Patriots or Browns, I'm sorry. You know, you're probably going to not get the best crap gamer. You know what I mean? That's just basically what it's going to be like for me. But it's all in good fun. I like my football. I like my sports. I like my gaming. And so at the end of the day, man, I'm glad that they're doing good. What do you guys think about this means for, like, the future? Obviously, this game's going to sell like hotcakes. Do you think they're going to be busy making Spider-Man 2 right away? Probably means no Sunset 2, no.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
hey, Insomniac has got their golden goose right here, so they'll strike a deal, get it done. This is going to sell like hotcakes. I fully expect the industry to follow suit. Maybe a Black Panther game would be sick. Who knows, right?
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I can see people doing, you know, Guardians or Thor, something else that's just going to get really popular. Right now, Black Panther is that. So
I'd
I
love
can
to see a
see
Black Panther game.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So I can see them doing that for other games with other devs, but I do think that Insomniac is going to stay on this one, definitely.
Yeah, you know, that's a little bit unfortunate because I mean, not because I wouldn't want to see a sequel, but because I would have liked to see a Sunset sequel or
other games from them. Yeah, definitely.
They're not working on the DLC because they already chopped that out of the regular game, so they're good to go for the second game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so that's already done.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's great. So the game's great. Hey, shout out to Y9 Power. He says you're all wrong. Shout of the Colossus is better than God of War. Yeah.
Whoa.
Wow.
Hopefully I did that noise right, but there's no throwable axe in that game, bro. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion. God of War to me was really good, drew me in right away. Shadow of the Colossus didn't really do that. I liked it, but it didn't you know, it was real clunky with the controls and stuff like that.
You know, it's funny. I mean, unless you guys have you know, literature that can prove me wrong, I don't think they're going to do a Spider-Man 2. I think it's
so?
No, it's one of those games that's iconic in itself, right? Spider-Man games come out every so often, whatever it is, 3-4 years.
Clip that clip and save it for later.
No, I don't think. I would not welcome it. I'm saying I think that this game is good. I think it's very good, and I think that it is what it is. Like, I don't know. It's kind of weird to say that. And like, there's going to be more Spider-Man games that come out down the road, but I think Insomniac will take on another project in between this and another Spider-Man.
So you don't think they have? I mean, I think they could take on two projects at the same time, but you don't think that perhaps they might go right into Spider-Man 2?
Dave Lacker says they are doing. If they are doing it, that's fine. I don't know.
Yeah, my counter argument with that is just the fact that Spider-Man before was kind of just whatever when it was just a Sony thing, but since it's been in the MCU, Spider-Man's kind of propelled it to this next level, and he's back to where he is.
Well, that's why I asked that. Dave Lacker goes, they said online. Well, if they said that's fine. I didn't hear that. I just thought that for some reason I would think that they would take like Spider-Man games don't come out like on a clock. You know what I mean? Like they're spread out. There's a lot of Spider-Man games that have come out since you go back as far as you want the PS1. It's not like, oh, well, now this one's big, so now we're gonna do another one in 2 years. It's like, well, maybe I would see them waiting until if you got another Spider-Man game, like we know that next generation starts 2020. I would definitely think that like it's gonna be, I don't know, the end of PS5's or middle end of PS5's era. Like that's a ways from now. Insomniac's not going to just wait that long.
I think they've already started making it. And that's not to say that they won't do more things because I think they've done multiple things this entire generation, right? Like they put out multiple VR games. They put out what is that one game, Mooch? Song of the Deep. They put out Ratchet and Clank. They put out Sunset Overdrive. So I think they've got multiple teams. So allegedly they have like a closed off room. Somebody did a tour or something and said nobody's allowed back there. So who knows what they're. Yeah, go ahead.
I definitely think they're going to keep going unless the Spider-Man movies or the MCU or whatever just goes down a little bit in popularity. Then they'll slow it down and they won't make another game, or they'll take a break, a long period of time. But since they're already working on another Spider-Man game, we already know he's attached to the movies. It's just they're just going to keep going, I think.
Bloodborne was a huge hit for Sony out of the bag. Not this big, but big. And then everyone's like, oh, they're going to have Bloodborne 2 any day now. It's like, well, and they are.
Are they?
But they probably are going to have a Bloodborne 2. But my point is it didn't come out 2 years after the first one. Like, that's my point is that, of course, there's another Spider-Man game coming down the road. Of course there is. We've had them every so often. But when you guys are saying the way that you pitched the question to me, maybe I interpreted it wrong, and I didn't hear what Dave Lacker said. With the developer said that they're already working on it. That changes everything. But I thought they would wait 4 or 5 years and then have another Spider-Man game come out, on next generation consoles. I don't think this is something that they're going to rush to and pump one out. Same thing with Cory Balrog, right? I mean, he's still on his publicity tour. You see him? He's always just hanging out and talking to people. He did a PAX.
Wouldn't you if you came out the game of the human existence?
Absolutely. He did a PAX West show with Greg Miller talking about how there needs to be a Superman game and how the Superman game needs to be made a certain way. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's I just don't see, like, God of War is the greatest game of existence, sold the most games of all time, but they don't have one coming out in a year and a half, is my point.
Mooch, real quick. Bloodborne, the difference is it was published by Sony and it was made by From Software, so there's a little bit different there. Sony owns the Spider-Man property.
They own the Bloodborne.
They own Bloodborne too.
Yeah, but it's a little bit different with the way it works there, because From Software is a little bit different, but also with the fact that with how popular Spider-Man is, I would think it would be kind of on the cycle of Batman, the Batman series. Like how many years in between did we get the first Batman?
I think it was two to three, wasn't it? Something like that. Yeah.
And now we're on like a giant gap in between games. So
yeah, because well, for the one thing I would also point out is that the engine is made, which is the hardest thing with these type of games, right? So they could easily go back and probably already, like, they have this world already. To be honest,
yeah, they got the city ready. Yep.
Yeah. So you just need, I could imagine they could probably get another one out in 2 years' time.
Yeah, new story, different suits, different like textures or whatever you want to do to the world itself, and
put
then
in
that's
Venom or Carnage or whoever, you know what I mean? Like some.
Oh yeah, Sony still has the rights for that, even though they're not putting them in the movies together. They can put them in the game.
Yeah,
I think.
Like Craven. Apparently, they're making a bunch of these side character villain standalone movies with no Spider-Man in them or whatever. So maybe you do add those characters in there or something. But the difference between Spider-Man and Bloodborne, Mooch, is even though people look at Bloodborne as a big success, it only sold like what, 2 million. Like I think Spider-Man's probably going to sell 10.
Spider-Man is, well, I mean, God of War. Did God of War reach 10?
We don't know. No, they would have announced that.
They haven't. I know that they've announced 5, but they didn't announce 10. God of War, I think, will still remain the champion over Spider-Man.
I was gonna say, I didn't see a custom console for that new milestone.
Put on bump.
Thanks.
But yeah, no, that's my whole take on it, crap. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I think the victor of this generation for Sony is still going to be God of War. At the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like look,
I
like God of War tremendously. I think it's going to be hard to really top that. I think the only game that has a chance at it this year is Red Dead 2, right? So depending on what that game does, like supposedly that game is there's no throwable axe, but they're saying that game's the greatest game ever created.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Spider-Man outsells God of War. Just solely on the fact that it's more for the masses. It's a game that all ages can play for the most part. God of War was kind of, for the mature audiences. It's kind of like one of those things that you say with movies. You have Deadpool out there. It's rated R. It's a really popular movie, but you can't take your kids there unless you're a bad parent. I'm not, if it is what it is, I'm just sure that.
Well, in Deadpool 2, he says it's a family movie at the beginning. Yeah. I mean, obviously.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, like no, listen, you could be right. Look, Marvel is very popular. There's probably a very casual audience for that.
Oh yeah, and Disney's backing them, so if Disney's there, you're gonna see like action figures and so much marketing obviously behind that.
Yep. And they're gonna sell a lot of toys, and they're gonna sell, a lot of these consoles, and apparently congratulations to Insomniac for putting out such a great game, but also it's sold out on Amazon or whatever. Yeah. So good on you guys. I know people expected Mooch and Crap here to, I don't know, do something.
No, I'm
like they do. They expect us to damage control it or something.
No, did they want you guys to cry or something? Like
I guess. I mean, hey, do they want me to send back my collector's edition when it gets here?
I'm actually super stoked to pick up the Spider-Man collection. I really am. I can't wait to be honest with you. The free flowing. The thing is, you have to read the reviews, guys, because all I'm doing is really I've looked at least I've read about 3 or 4 reviews. I've watched a half dozen, and they all say the same thing. They do say that after you get the thrill that you feel, that is absolutely, they say, amazing the first 2 hours of the swinging, which is what I said. Okay, I mean, we've all played Spider-Man games. This is not news.
Yeah.
They said that thrilling effect you feel when you have to go across the huge map and you're swinging on the 10th hour, they're like, it gets on your nerves a bit. And that's fine, right? That's just the way it is.
Dude, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not just a Spider-Man thing. That's like any game, to be honest with you. So, hey, Yobi Dren, man, thanks for the donation. He says, peace, love, life. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, kind of weird. They're adding RPG elements to it. Do you think they're straying away from the formula that made the series great? Your thoughts? Oh, and Gears 5, can't wait. me and Foxy, I'm sure, agree with you
Hell
on Gears 5.
Yeah.
Because that game looks amazing. And I don't mind the switch up with Assassin's Creed. I think that game was a little bit stale, and they almost did a God of War style kind of reboot of that, right? And I think that's something that was needed there. I like it. I like the old version too, though. So it's hard saying. I think it gets a little grindy as an RPG, whereas when it was just sort of this adventure game, you could just go play it and beat it. What is it? Origins. When I thought I was going to get to the end, I wasn't leveled up enough to actually go do that. So then I had to grind and do these little side quests, and I'm not a big fan of that, to be honest with you. Like, I don't know if you guys are into grinding for stuff, but yeah, that wasn't exactly my thing. But I still love the game, and I think it was really great. So I'm looking forward to it. What about you guys? You guys think anything about this game in particular? Yeah. Don't
wow.
jump in. Don't jump in over there.
No Assassin fans, I guess.
Well, you guys know. Here's the thing, Crap. I like the era of time again. I like it. I like where they're going with this Greek era more than the Egyptian era. But that's just personal preference. Again, I'm just not an Assassin's Creed fan. I'm not going to lie to you. You guys know I've said it a million times. Every game has a repetitive nature. I think what it comes down to is you have to dig what is the repetitive nature in the game. And if it's something you don't mind doing over and over and over again, that's fine. But the quests and the abilities that you get through the game of Assassin's Creed, and I know, Crap, me and you had a great debate 3-4 shows ago where you're like, oh, you don't really know. What you don't really realize is after Ezio and we went down, Jimmy Schmitz, and when you were Jimmy, Jimmy's story. And I'm like, dude, don't give me this Jimmy stuff, okay? Because realistically, the story in it is not that like ravishing. It's you're climbing pyramids, you're climbing a wall, you're climbing Big Ben. It is what it is. You know what I mean? So if you don't like that, then it is. I don't care. They can set that thing in my neighborhood the next game. It doesn't mean I'm going to like it.
Well, considering how many. Okay, so that series came out in 2007, and we're in 2018, so 11 years. And I don't know how many damn games of that we've had, but we've had quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, if you think about it, but I like the changes.
Yeah.
I like the Ezio trilogy was my favorite probably, but as far as these new ones just look like eye candy. Like honestly,
I know, awesome.
I know the graphics don't make a game good, but holy crap, do those games look amazing?
Real quick, Assassin's Creed. Origins, Odyssey, they're all the same, right? Why would you do it with an O, right? But the last game that just came out, I was sleeping on it. I'm not going to lie. When I saw the trailer at E3 for Xbox, I'm like, whatever, dude. Another Assassin's Creed game. I was kind of over it, but honestly, I was very surprised about the graphics on the X were just outstanding. In the modified gameplay, I was really digging it because I like slashers, hack and slash games. In the way that they changed the combat system, I was digging that as well, but I didn't finish everything I could do in that because it's so big. And then you come out with the next game and it looks similar. You got it's set in Greece now. It all starts looking the same. It starts looking like a DLC to me. And that's the biggest problem. It's only a year removed from this other game coming out. So it's a pass for me.
Oh, okay. So you're not really feeling it, huh? I get it. Like sort of like the whole Battlefield 5 thing. Like a lot of people think that feels just like DLC or whatever. For me personally, I get that, and then I played it, and I think it plays differently, a lot differently than Battlefield 1. So and I gotta say, hopefully, I'm not really sure. Like it's a different studio that did Odyssey, but obviously they're still using that same engine.
Right.
I just wish that they would take more time apart.
Yeah.
Like it was awesome when they took a break and they came back and people were like, yeah, I missed it. I want to play this again. But for me, I'd rather play Prince of Persia. That's what I used to play. That's what I liked.
Man, there hasn't been one of those games in forever.
That's what I was saying to Crap about with the Forza. And no, I want to hear your take too, Saul. And I said the same thing about this game is like, and Crap's right. If it's ready, I mean, they're not going to shelf it. They're not. But I mean, and they're just not. And I agree with you, Crap. That's insane. That's suicide for the title. I would just say, like, take some more time. Like, take 4 years. That's the same thing I was saying with the Spider-Man. Like take a couple of years and make this game, like, build on it. Do more with it. Like, the thing is they're doing such a cash cow with these Assassin's Creed games that, like, realistically, I understand you say I like them, but we have so many games coming this fall. It would not even, if I said to you the greatest different Assassin's Creed is coming out next year, it wouldn't even affect you. It wouldn't even affect you. Like, because you have so much to play. I think we're all still thinking back to that 2013, 2012 era at the end of the 360 PS3, early into this generation. We're like, we need a ton of games and we need them now. It's like, no, you don't. You don't. Well, we have so many games right now. We don't even have enough time.
That generation lasted so long that it was easy to get those sequels out, right?
And that's where we are now.
Yeah, about like capitalizing on your money. It's like we got, 3 Mass Effects. We got 5 Assassin's Creeds, believe it or not.
Right.
It's unbelievable amount, really.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't know how many damn Call of Duties because those were every year.
Those were every year.
Yeah, so we got 3. Even that what the hell is that game where you're hunting aliens on that ship? Dead Spaces. Yeah, we got 3 Dead Spaces. I mean, it was like we got 4 Gears of War. We we got we've got what 3 or 4 Halos. So, I mean, it's easy to say, like maybe they should slow down a little bit. What should they have done, though, since it's a different team? Supposedly they've been working on this for 3 years. So, I know one just came out last year, but if they're done, why not release it? You know what I mean? They already said there's not going to be one next year. So, I guess.
Crap, I want to piggyback off of that. Like, do you think the messaging is kind of strange? Hey, we're going to take a year off after this because that's kind of what you guys have been talking about, but we're going to do these back to back. I'd almost want them to not say that until the game's out, because I would, as a customer, I'm kind of like, well, why didn't you wait this year, right? You're just going one after another, but then you're saying you're taking a break. Like, what's the point as a customer? So
I hear you. Like, I'm willing to give the game a chance because I like that franchise. So I'll see how it is. You know what I mean?
To be honest with you, Crap, and don't get me wrong, I'm going to allow me to sound like crap. If it's mooched, absolutely. But my whole point, right? But absolutely. But we are going to be playing. When's it come out? October 19th?
Yes, or something like that.
Something around that. If I'm off by a few days. You've got Red Dead coming out just a week later. Like, I don't understand. And then you guys, we just
October
had 5th. And better yet, October 5th it comes out. October 2nd is Forza Horizon 4. You guys are, it's just, you're gonna put down a brand new game to play that game and then get invested in that just to change over. There's something else coming out between. I thought there was something else also coming out between Assassin's Creed and Red Dead. But regardless,
Call of Duty coming out,
right? Call of Duty.
I don't care about that game though. So
and you guys are talking about Battlefield 5 and your binoculars and specs.
It's fine. We're good.
It's like I don't think, and don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean crap that you can't power run through it. But to say you power run through a game and I don't do any of the side quests and stuff like that, this is a me problem. This isn't that crap. To me, that's not playing the game. I don't think you have to do all the side missions, but if you're just powering through to get done before the next title comes out, like. You know what I mean? That's like going to if you're going to go to a 5-star restaurant and shovel the food down your throat, just go get a Five Guys burger and save yourself about $100. Because realistically, that last bite feels the same.
Yeah. I hear you, dude. I hear what you're saying, man. Like, I get it. Probably some people are going to pick it up a little bit later, and I think I'm fine with that as well.
You might as well, crap. It'll be half price by November, 26th?
Yeah, probably. Like
Luca's already way ahead of us. She already mooched it.
Yeah, she already mooched it.
Wait, she mooched Assassin's Creed?
Yeah.
She doesn't. I didn't even think she liked that.
She plowed through the first Origin. She loved that game.
She likes Assassin, but I think she was disappointed with the ending. That's what happened.
She didn't like the grinding, but she
likes all the other Assassins from what I know.
Well, if she likes it, she likes it.
Yeah, she's good at grinding. Apparently, that's what she told me. So,
excuse me, sir.
No,
the family show. Crap. Take it easy.
The Souls games, right? Like those are grinding. I don't mean anything.
She plays Gears, and she plays. No, Destiny. My bad. Destiny.
Exactly, and she's got what 30 some damn days on Destiny or whatever.
Yeah, playing all the games, girl.
12 days. Well, the clip that I saw, I'm like, I think a few hours behind her, but like that's she's got a lot of hours in the Destiny. She digs it. I'll be honest with you, that's my whole point.
Definitely.
Yeah. She had. Oh, Lucas in the chat. Look at those eyes. I love it. It's great. But no, realistically, that's the thing that makes Destiny what it is that it is the community. It is the fact that like you have that much time goes by and then people go, and I tell you, it really comes back to that. We could sit here and bash Call of Duty. We could sit here and bash Assassin's Creed, or if you don't like Destiny, and that's fine. Everyone has every right to bash the game that they don't care for. They have a reason for it. But really, most games are repetitive. You have to like the repetitive nature of the game to want to keep playing it over and over and over again. And for me, Assassin's Creed really misses the mark. That's something repetitively that I'm just not interested in. Now, if they take a couple years off, come back and do something really, really different, I'm all about paying attention to a change or doing something new. And that's what this franchise needs. It needs a complete and utter refresh. Do something new. You know what I mean? Yeah. I like how they did that with Origins. We're coming back with something new. Now climb a pyramid. What?
Yeah.
Come on, man. I just got done climbing I just climbed Big Ben.
I thought they did
climb a pyramid. It's different.
Yeah, I thought the changes with the more RPG feel was something new. You know what I mean? Like I thought that was new enough anyway. To where it was something fresh, like it was totally different feel for me than some of the other ones.
Next year, climb a chain link fence. We dare you. All right. Apparently, we're back to 1980. We've come back to full circle.
Mooch is a hater, but I want to switch topics real quick.
I'm not a hater. I'm a truth speaker. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Well, those things are like, I don't know. There's a thin line there, Mooch. I'm just saying.
There is.
Mikey Barra. This guy I don't know, that somebody unleashed him. Ooh. He says Sony isn't listening to gamers on crossplay. He retweets this article that says Sony boss dismisses Fortnite crossplay. And he says, still isn't listening to gamers. All gamers should be crossplay and progression with the right input flexibility and gamer options. I like how he added that so that people like me don't get pissy and go, no crossplay with PC because keyboard and mouse. You know what I mean? So he's like covering his ass right there. And then later on, somebody was brought up, well, you can't really blame them. Sony's kicking their butt. And Mike fires back, they have Windows too, which is between Windows and Xbox is larger.
Right.
So he was real quick to kind of bring that back. What has changed, Mooch? And what do you think about this? Because as far as I think
he tweeted out after a full bottle of wine, but go ahead.
Yeah. It's odd to me that he, like Team Xbox has been a little bit on the offensive with this, what do you think, man? I don't think it's funny. Don't get me wrong. You're right for making that comment. It gives the sense that they're on the offensive. But to be honest with you, I just think Mike was trying to do another public service announcement with a bit of a jab in the back end of that. Yeah. And, all it takes is the right publication to take it and run with it, when you're an executive. But I got news for you. We all said it a while ago, the executives should lay low and stay off Twitter. They have been. If you've noticed for the past, 3 months now or so, you really don't see a lot of stuff coming out. Mike, the only thing you see coming out of Mike's Twitter right now is retweet for 12 months Xbox Gold. Or, hey, look at me, I found a cape. Or, you know what I mean? Or, he found a cape.
Right? He found a cape in Destiny. Or he's like, look at me, I've just got these shiny boots in this game. He doesn't really say anything anymore. It's because everything they say now is put under a microscope. So did he do something? He did make a comment. The comment did have some meaning to it, but realistically, Sony doesn't care. They're like, great, I'm glad Mike said that. Now, somebody hold my beer. They don't care. They just
they don't care right now.
Next gen. Yeah. Right.
They don't care right now, but anything can change. And we could see some kind of flip-de-loop here, you know what I mean, in very short order where they do care because there was a developer that was actually kind of talking about that, and what we could get into that here as well. And I want to hear everybody else's opinions on what Mike said, where the developer said developers might flock more to Microsoft because they're allowing this, and that could lead to more exclusives, like console exclusives, because they can put it on Switch, or they can put it on PC and Xbox and have crossplay or whatever. You know what I mean? And that would mean less games for PlayStation. So, True. Don't all chime in like Foxy. What do you guys think? Mike going off on this stuff. Great, not great.
I think it's woo. I think it's good that he's speaking out. I don't see it as oh my god, now they're in the defensive. Now from now on they're always going to speak out. I think they always hold back anyway. And sometimes it's pretty bad when they tweet too much and they say too much and then something doesn't follow through and then they have to, they just put their foot in their mouth or whatever. And I think Aaron used to do that more so before, but I think now they're pretty chill. So I'm glad that he's speaking out because obviously this is something that Xbox has, and maybe it just triggered him because Xbox has done a lot, and they've come back a lot, and they fixed so many things, and yet they're still not getting recognized for it. And people are just excusing the fact that, oh, well, PlayStation's winning, so it is what it is. That's why. And that's not an excuse. That's not a good excuse. And I think that's what Mike, he was like, done.
Yeah.
That's why when we say the media is slanted a little bit and people are like, no, like it's not. That's the thing. When Microsoft did things like this, they're like anti-consumer. I mean, it was just weeks and everybody pounding on the moves, everybody from YouTube channels to the big gaming media. And here you have, Mike does come out and make a comment. And yes, the media did say, we think Mike's right. But like Foxy just said, at the end of all the things I saw on IGN and Kotaku, they're like, however, Sony is the market leader, so they can do whatever they want. It's like, wait a minute,
article and every video.
That's how they ended everything. And I'm like, if Microsoft was the market leader and Sony was doing everything pro-consumer, holy shit. I mean, Redmond would be on fire. Cars would be tipped upside down.
Yeah. I mean, like, Salty, what do you think about this? Like, about damn time or no?
First of all, it's the funniest thing I've heard in a long time when I heard that PlayStation has the best network. I'm no expert here, but that was pretty funny. Anyway, I think Mike's comments make sense because if you look at the way he's approached some of the things that he talks about or does, he's a gamer first and foremost. He plays on PC, he plays on PlayStation, Xbox, all these other things. I think he's just a gamer, and I think he sees the advantage of cross-platform, cross-progression, especially since he plays on PC. I'm sure he has buddies that reside in different systems, and he sees the benefits. So he's speaking as a gamer in this situation. I know he works for Xbox and this and that, but Mike's made it clear before that, like, he's a gamer, and I definitely believe him in this situation. And if you talk to gamers, they know that it's beneficial to have cross progression first and then, cross play second. So it is.
I like that. And I did think it was funny because Sony, realistically, like, we all know why they're not doing crossplay. So for them to be like, well, the reason why we don't do it is because the best place to play is PlayStation, and we don't want to taint that. But hey, on the other hand, we do play with PC. So even though we're the best place to play, we can play with PC. But we just don't play with Xbox.
It's like the Cleveland Browns coming out and saying, hey, we're the best team in the NFL. Those Patriots suck.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, sorry. Sports. Real quick. But those Browns fans can be really deluded. Mooch, won't you admit, though, that the Browns fans are very cocky for a team that went 0-16 last year? Yep. They're out on Twitter, man. Like that one dude who's a fan of us, he's always like, the Browns, he was all hyping up their preseason, man. Preseason.
Well, the thing about it, Crap, is here's the thing. You're using it in a slant one way, which I totally get. Like Crap saying, hey, if you win 2 wins, that's a major victory over 0.
You only won 1 in 2 years.
1, right. So my whole thing is, I will say this much, also coming from a season of not winning like any games, you go into a situation where they know they have a lot more talent in certain areas. Crap, if they go from where they were last year to 6-10 even, like that is triumphant. I mean, you have to. So they're ranting and raving because these guys signed 3-4 year contracts. They're going to be there for a while. So
I want to see hashtag sports in the chat. Just saying.
Hashtag sports. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Mooch. I just
sports. But yeah, I know where you're coming from, and I don't get me wrong. Don't let me derail you from your Cleveland route that you always go on. It's very funny.
Terrible.
But like, it is what it is. I think they will be better, to say the least.
Oh, sure. At least 2 games. At least I would say at least 2.
So yeah, it's so shocking to me. You're done. Foxy break over. I think it's shocking that PlayStation, even though they're saying all this shit now, it's like, are you even listening to your fans? Because I know so many people on the PlayStation side, their primary system, and then they have the Xbox on the side. They want this. They want their games to cross over. They want the cross progression. That's the main thing they want, and they're not listening to that. So anyway, I don't know what PlayStation's thinking.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. But I want to talk about this new report. Like, this was something that was told to me, and I heard there might be an article going up about it. But a lot of people were wondering about this Elite version 2.0, right? And why we got this white one instead. So basically, what I was told, which, take it with a grain of salt, could be any damn thing. But usually this particular person has a very good track record. was that Microsoft, to right now, has basically said unless they can grow market share, we're not going to do it right now. We're going to shelve it. So VR, I know the version 2 Elite controller, that's shelved right now. The career mode that was being made, Upload Studio 2.0 shelved, all this stuff. So anything, this is what any major project that doesn't focus on growing market share has been shelved. That's why Upload Studio is dead, why career mode was killed. It's why Elite version 2 got shelved, and why VR was shelved. So that is and I was told that there's going to be at least one article written about that this week. So what do you think, Mooch? Because I remember when I told you, you were like, that's interesting, because everybody was just like, Elite 2 is a real thing, and we all heard it, the spider and all this stuff.
Here's where I gotta say, crap, a bit of your information, it doesn't hold water with me, and I'll tell you why.
Yeah,
we just found out that Xbox is launching a grease-proof Xbox controller now.
Yeah, but that's probably a lot less
absolutely
inventive expensive.
Let's also look at what the V2 was supposed to be rumored to be. It was basically going to be the same shell, the same handles, a couple of new analog nubs. Okay.
Well, you're going to be able to adjust the tension in there.
You're going to be able to adjust the tension. But I mean, there was things in there already that were like kind of like you could tweak this, you could tweak the sensitivity. That's not much more. That's a software thing. My point is this. If the V2 would not have cost, they've got 65 controllers that came out in the past 65 days. Crap. Okay, like so even though you can make a point
of controllers, like to be honest with you, Microsoft allegedly anyway don't make really any money off the Elite controllers. They're basically sold for cost because they're very sturdy and well, I hear what you're saying. So imagine like right now they're staffing up all these developers and buying studios and stuff because that can help them grow their market share. Where Elite 2.0 or VR, which we know VR was shelved, right?
Yeah.
That's fine. I get that, but I don't get the Upload Studio too.
There's no Upload.
Why not have Upload Studio?
That's not something you can waste resources on, I guess. I don't know.
Think about this for a second. That's crap because you got Stein taking 65 selfies a day. Instead, you can have a couple of these guys instead of wasting corporate hours taking pictures of themselves. We can actually have like the Upload 2.0 is something that helps the brand. Okay, the things that Sony's done, the Share Factory, are nothing like wild or crazy. They keep it updated.
When was
the
last time they updated that though? Like they haven't even.
It's been a while for that too, but it still was updated. I think it was probably anywhere from 4 to 6 months ago. But the point of the matter is, Upload Studio has been updated in like 3 years.
Yeah,
and it's like my issue.
Horizon 2 stuff in there though soon, but you won't be able to get the game. So.
I mean, this is stuff that lets all these people on YouTube make a small clip, make a small video, send it to their friends, it's free advertising.
Put it on YouTube.
All you need is a couple 10 new backgrounds. That's nothing. Those are just stills. And then be able to edit the editing software, maybe enhanced with a button or two. Listen, my point being is I get what you're saying with if it's not a system seller, it's shelved. I get that. So things that are big time R&D like VR headset, got it. You want to go as far as to say Elite Controller 2, even though the things that were rumored to come out are basically the same controller, which they sold out of and you couldn't even get for 3 months. Okay. It was in such high demand. They could have done that on the cheap too. So I'm not buying those, but I would buy the VR talk. But Upload Studios too, them not doing that. And where's the avatars?
Oh,
for God's
God.
sake. And I know we went on a rant on this crap, but realistically, that's a bunch of shit.
Yeah, this is like really spooky because Microsoft is
not a system seller, so forget about it.
Forget about it.
They're more about software. So obviously the Avatar stuff, that's software. They need to already give us that a long time ago. And I guess some people don't even care, like they're losing interest. So that's their fault. And then the whole Upload Studio thing, that's another thing, that's software stuff. They could do that themselves. But the hardware stuff that you're talking about, the VR, the controller, that's understandable if they want to wait on that. So that makes sense to me, the hardware stuff, but not the software. I don't understand that not one bit. And that should already be out.
I don't know. I think that Microsoft is nearing $1 trillion for a reason. They shelve projects that don't make sense. That's the reason why they don't want to have VR on their system. You know what I'm saying? Like they came out and said, "Hey, we're gonna have VR." No, we're not. And you know, they look at the market trends, they look at analytics, they figure out what's working, what's not, what they want to push, what they don't, and it changes on a month-to-month, year-to-year basis. So just because one thing's popular one time, it doesn't mean it's going to be popular or whatever necessarily.
Right.
So I don't blame them, man. Do your thing, Microsoft and Xbox. You know, promote what you want.
I hear you. Yeah, it's like, and it does like. Here's the thing: I'm not really one to believe in coincidences. So, like, this seems pretty legit to me, right? Like, we don't have an Elite 2. We don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like people are like, well, you know, and maybe we'll hear something about this. I hope we do anyway. But to me, it's a little bit weird. But at the end of the day, I think that it is there's probably some truth to it, especially from the person that I particularly heard this from.
Maybe it's because the grips kept falling off the new one too. That's why.
I've never had grips fall off my controller.
Mine did, Crappy. Mine did.
Hey,
okay.
I got these big old rhino hands, and I like when I use.
Oh, by the way, you got it after I did though.
Yeah.
So yours is still newer. I got it that same time it came out.
Mine's the day it came out. I have no issue. The only thing I told you that is
you
absolutely
lucky.
Is the well, no, not really. The pull trigger on the right, the RT, the short trigger pull is busted.
Oh,
so
never mind. You're not lucky.
Regular.
Never mind.
No,
you have two though, don't you, Mooch? Didn't you?
Yes,
mooch
the other
one?
ones. I did mooch one. Well, so that do anyone want to hear this mooch story? It's a great story, to be honest with you.
Let's hear it.
So it was right when I started hanging out with Boom, and Boom says to me, he goes, you know, this really sucks. He goes, I ordered I ordered the Gears of War Elite controller. It was like $200, right?
Oh,
and
yes,
right, and they sent him a regular one. So he's writing this to me in the DMs, and I said, listen, you know, get a hold of Aaron. I'm like, he's pretty good at this. And he's like, you think he will? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, just this is what you do. Write him, tell him this and that. I said, then I write him back like 2 minutes later. I go, by the way, Microsoft's generally good at this. When they make an oops like that, I go, they're gonna send you the other one, and I'm like, would you do me a favor and send me the one that you don't want? And he goes, if they give me my Gears of War Elite controller, I will send you this one, Mooch. And he's like, you know, and I thought it was hysterical because like 2 days later, they were like, and keep the other one. I was like, Yahtzee! So basically, right? Yeah, all the way from here in New York. So he was a man of his word. He goes, yeah, it was fantastic.
Yeah, like, hey,
hey, listen, I got news for you. Sometimes you got to roll the dice, Fox. Okay, put it out there.
Hey, listen, I am very brutal on my controllers, man. I like, you ever see me game, man? It's like, you know, I used to beat like those thumbsticks on the 360 controllers used to point down when you know what I mean? After about, you know, a month or two of gaming on them, right? So I went through a ton of 360.
Oh, back in the day, you know, in your youth. That's what you're talking about?
in my youth and back when I didn't have so many gray hair. But you know, it's I know, right, Mooch? Damn.
It's all right, dude.
Sucks. I know.
Distinguished.
Yes, distinguished gentleman. That's me.
That is correct.
So, yes. You know, hey, it is what it is. But hey, like that is kind of a bummer. Maybe next gen, but hopefully, like the good point, I would rather have them building studios and making games.
Oh yeah, games. Hell yeah.
VR or controllers at this point, you know,
controllers.
They've got a ton of damn controllers out. So yeah, it's like
It's also a little bit. I'll leave this this last bit. It's also a little bit understandable why they're not touching Upload Studio, even though it's very disappointing. They're all focused on Mixer, so it's all about streaming now. But yeah.
Yeah, they love the Mixer. You know, we
yeah, they sure do.
Yeah, they do.
Can't relate. Can't relate.
It's so me either. I'm not a Mixer guy. So anyway, Mooch, Destiny 2 DLC. Why don't you give us a rundown on this?
Oh yeah, tell us everything.
Tell us how bad this is, what a ripoff it is, and how you hate it.
Let me know how hard I got to Mooch for this.
Let me tell you this much, Mooch. Here's something you don't hear say very often. Mooch was wrong. Because this game is better than I originally thought it was going to be. And let me tell you something. This is that good, folks. Okay, this has got everything and then some. We wanted Destiny 1 characteristics, bounties, things to come back, the power rolls, a reason to regrind missions over and over again to get that better godly roll in your gun. The equipment is there. The light level jumps by 200. It's fantastic. The story, everybody's like, I want a story. I'm tired of Grimoire cards. You got your story. I'm tired of having it so that my guardian doesn't talk. Now he talks.
Does he talk?
Okay. He talks.
He talks again. He has a different voice, but he talks again.
Mine's a girl, so she talked. But
oh, nice.
They talk. So my point is that like, right. So it happens. You got all this. You've got drama in there because I'll be honest with you. Okay, I've always been a big time fan of the Warlock group there, but I never really. Yeah, I know everyone's a big Cade 6 fan. I always thought Cade 6 was great. What happened with Cade 6, man? The way that he went down. First of all, comical acting is great. The writing was fantastic, and even though I saw it before, to watch it again and play through last night. And it's just, listen, there's only a few games, and crap, you'll appreciate this part. You go back to the 2009 to 2012 era when the Call of Duty games used to come out and everybody used to run off and wait in line and get the game at midnight and run home. And I remember it must have been 2012, 2013 when we had the apps on our phone, the Xbox 360 app, and you could still open it and see all your friends. And I used to see all of them go boom, boom, oh, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty, Call of Duty. And it was awesome to see that.
Yeah.
And to come home last night, launch this. I went into the Mooch Maniacs club that we have, the clan there. Went in. I said, anybody? No, he's not in. He's not in my group. And he goes, he's not. So and I go, anybody not start the story yet? And two people like, go Mooch, I'll run it with you. This is great. I don't remember Cisco and Ebert ever having a in the back of their.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
I thought Crapgamer was gonna have a bathroom break, but go ahead.
No, right? Yeah, usually he makes a sandwich.
Not the Last of Us too. So
yeah, that's true. That's true. He usually gets the mail then. But realistically, no. But I think that everything is there, and it really is truly. It's a lot of fun. So these guys were in the Mooch Maniacs group. They're like, let's go for it. Hung out with these dudes. Never hung out with them before. Very cool. Went through it. People that cared about hearing about the story. Dedicated gamers in the Destiny franchise. Listen. It is what it is, folks. If you don't like Destiny, guess what? You don't like Forsaken, and you're not going to like the next DLC, and you're not going to like the one after that. But realistically speaking, to have a community that's this alive and keep coming back every 3 to 6 months, there's no other game like it. There's no other game like it this generation.
Let me
piggyback
off of that, Mooch. Tag me in. All right,
please do, buddy. Please.
Basically, I've been at the forefront criticizing Bungie from the get. When they deserved it, I've been at the forefront saying what was wrong with the game. But honestly, folks, coming from a person that has, played Destiny 2 from the beginning, fell away, bought the DLC late, you can honestly tell that Bungie is listening to its consumer base. Not everything, most of the things that people hated about D2 and the reason why the majority of the hardcore fan base fell away, they've addressed a lot of those issues. And let me tell you, the scenes that I was watching, man, were just gripping, and I felt some emotions actually watching a scene in Destiny, and it was crazy. It's like I was watching a movie and I gave a shit, so that was cool to see that by those cutscenes. And Nolan North, like I said, shout out to the guy, man. Almost brought a tear to my eye. The acting was superb. It just was spot on, and just I love watching those scenes. Like I said, I heard some rumors that Destiny and Bungie is going to go with this model where they want to get this content out faster, so they're going to kind of do away with the story. Mooch, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but they've said that they're going to kind of not have as many cutscenes and stories to get the stuff out faster, and that kind of makes me sad because of what I've seen in the Forsaken. Because damn, voice acting, story. The main
and
villain,
if they said that, Salt, I would be a little pissed, because I'll be honest with you, what you just said was 100% accurate in the fact that I liked how they had the cutscenes and the acting and the music. And we're not, listen, a lot of times you really don't get a chance to talk about music in games, okay? But the music in Destiny 2 is great. I think it's great. I think the music in Halo is great, and it's right up there. I mean, it's Halo has a little bit more of that, like when Halo music plays, you turn your head and you're like, where's Halo? Where's Halo? Where Destiny doesn't necessarily have that, because every time there's a DLC, they change kind of the main theme music when you can turn it on, which by the way, this one is great.
Yeah.
This is some of the greatest, right?
Mooch, I'm seeing a lot of haters in the chat because they're like, oh my God, here we go again, Destiny talk. But honestly, guys, I'm not going to steer you in the wrong direction here. I'm telling you the straight up God's the honest truth. I'm not a Destiny homer like Mooch, but I it is what it is. I'm just trying to tell you guys that honestly, Destiny 1 had no story. The cutscene sucked. The story was just all over the place, cut out. It didn't draw you in. You didn't care about the characters. Your main character didn't talk.
Well, some people didn't care. So it depends. Because I would say I did care about the characters in Destiny 1, even though I didn't have those amazing cutscenes or the cinematic videos. Yeah. I still cared about the characters. It did suck. I had to go out of my way to find the Grimoires and learn more about the backstory. But it was still an amazing game, and I still played it for like, what was it, 28 days and whatever hours I told you, Crappy?
Yeah. So, how many days did you play Destiny 2 though, Fox?
Three days.
Yes, there we go.
So it's interesting to me because I think for them to take that risk to start off with killing off a main character like Cade was a brilliant move. First of all, Nathan Fillion has other things to do, and he's getting up there with like his status in Hollywood, and I think it was kind of a money thing, and it worked out for them. But damn, dude, it draws you in. Just trust me. Yeah, trust me.
You guys pitch a hell of a thing there. I'm not really interested.
Now, if we can actually get you to play it.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. Like, so earlier in the week, Luca tweeted out like the days played, and you have 30 some, and she's got 30 some, and Xbox got 60 some or whatever it is. I don't have no 30 some days to play this game, right? Like, that's just not happening. I can't do it. I don't want to spend a bunch of money on it. It seems like you've always got to
think the money out of it, crap at the time. I think it's for you. It's strictly a time thing. And now, see, it's easy. Now it's really easy for you to kind of use
cut into my Spider-Man game. I got to swing to the left and swing to the right.
I'm going to manage it. Well, that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand too. You have to remember something. To all of you that are thinking about jumping into Destiny, and Crap made a good point. So let's just discuss that for a second, because I'm going to step away from Destiny Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm going to actually use the Randall Thor method of playing Spider-Man. I'm going to play that in its entirety throughout this weekend. I really want to dedicate hardcore. Yes, I do, because the conversation on Spider-Man is going to take place heavily in the next 7 days, Crap. Okay. Yeah. So I want to be a part of the conversation from the beginning to the end of it. And the other thing is that this is what the turn for most people with Destiny is. They're like, well, I don't have time and I need to do it now. You're watching your favorite YouTuber, and I'm talking about the big channels. Okay, I'm talking about like Papa Console, who I follow. He's really funny. He's actually hysterical to watch on YouTube. He's a big Destiny channel, and there's many other ones out there. But when you watch them, they're like, here I am, 1 day later after Forsaken, and I'm already at 550 light, and you're like, oh man, like shit, I'm at like 405. You know, it's like you get the feeling that you're so far behind. But let's be honest, people. You're not getting any kind of update for another 2 months or 1 month or 3 months, depending on how, there's variable amounts of different content coming. But you don't have to play Destiny from yesterday at midnight, for the next 72 hours without eating, sleeping, or taking a shower. You can live. You can live. You can actually go to work. You can play another game. You can come back because the game is always there. The raids are going to be there in 2 weeks. The events are all there. When you want to go on and get the Whisper mission, it's there. You want to go get the Sleeper mission, it's still there. So my point being, yes, there are certain timed events, like when they do the Halloween festival or something like that you'd actually have to turn it on the week they're giving you that. But if you missed it, guess what? The game doesn't penalize you for missing that. So that's the thing. I would say stop worrying about having to rush in and do this and do that. You can play Destiny at your own pace. You don't have to keep up with the YouTubers or the people in the gaming media. You don't have to. Play your own pace and enjoy the game.
I hear you. But speaking of paid DLC, Anthem announced that they're doing no paid DLC. What do you think of that? Do you think that has a shot at taking out the Destiny player? You know what I mean? Like they're saying, hey, we're getting a game and we're not going to have to sit there and put out $80 every 3 months for a new DLC.
Isn't the story DLC that is what they were saying? I think the Anthem won't do that only because they're not going to have PvP. I think that's a big thing missing from Anthem, and I think those Destiny players, a lot of them like to have the PvP to play when they're done with all the story content or most of it. So when they get into Anthem and they don't have that PvP, I think that's going to be the deal breaker. So.
Yeah. What about you, Foxy? I mean, are you more apt to play, say, a Anthem with free DLC, or you're trying to mooch a copy of which anybody wants to donate it to her, feel free.
Hell yeah! I want to cry seeing Cade go down like that. But I mean, I understand why they did it. They need people to come back and check out the game. I'm interested in it. But yeah, Anthem, it's a different animal. I feel like a lot of people compare them, but I feel like it's going to be a completely different feel. I'm really interested in it. I'm glad they're going to do free stuff. But then again, I'm not surprised because that's a new thing that EA is doing, right? They know they fucked up in the past, and now they're trying to give us like free stuff for Battlefield, now free stuff with Anthem. So I'm not surprised, but I'm happy about it, especially the fact that there's gonna be story. So it's gonna be something to keep going back to, more information, more lore, whatever, or more progression with your character. I do like that.
What concerns me about Anthem is first and foremost what Salty said, is the fact that they don't have a PvP. That's something that when you get done with your story mission and you've kind of, let's say whatever they're calling their light, let's say you get to 100, that's the max for whatever it is. If you're at like 89, you're like, well, what am I doing? Why am I grinding? I'd finish the story. I'm pretty much there. You're pretty much done with it. Whereas you have these events and the fact that Crucible, which is the multiplayer of the PvP, if you will, in Destiny, that really does. It's a life support system for most. And then once a month for a full week, they do Iron Banner, which is like a full week of you don't have to, but it's in your best interest to play that, especially early on in the season, to level up your character. These are things that they're not going to have with Anthem. The other thing I have a problem with is that, and I know you guys don't like, nobody likes to hear this in gaming. You know, Crap's a big fan of using this word. You know, he's like, free. It's free. Free. Well, you know, there's people when you're walking by the food court that are handing you little samples on a toothpick. They're like, here, try this. It's free. Here, try this. It's free. Yeah, those are free samples, and they're great. But I still I want to sit down and eat a dish of food. You know what I'm saying? I want to eat a plate of food. So I don't always want to get the meat on a stick that's free. Yeah. You know, it's just, that's my whole thing. I think you have to, when it comes down to it, sometimes you get what you pay for. And a lot of people with Destiny feel like maybe they've been slapped on the wrist a couple of times. A couple of their DLCs in the season pass have been lackluster. I'm not going to sit here and defend it. Some of it has been lackluster. But ultimately, again, it brings people back, and you're playing the game throughout the next 2 months or the next month. It brings you back to play some PvP. It's just a different animal. I'm excited for Anthem, but Anthem has a lot of question marks to fill in, and hopefully they've got a lot of writing to fill in for no PvP.
Rock Talk 31 says never Destiny. Bungie still owes me money for Destiny 1. I feel you. I feel you, man. Like, man, Destiny 1 was terrible. I didn't like it. You know, it's not my bag. I remember playing that game. It was just like, I think, where's the story?
I think you got to let go. I think you got to let go, because Destiny 1, we're not talking about Destiny 1. You know, I mean, everybody's so wrapped up in, you know, like nostalgia. It's like, I remember back when I bought that game. Good for you. But guess what? There's a whole nother game and a whole nother slab of DLC. Yeah. So what you're angry about doesn't hold water in the conversation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, to me, it's just, I don't know if that's something I'm going to get. Like, you said that you don't think Anthem's going to do well. I think Anthem's going to do incredibly well.
I genuinely think it comes out, what, that February 22nd?
February 22nd. With,
oh, my God. The April. Most popular day ever.
By May, it could be dead.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Somebody record that, because damn.
Wow, let's use that record gig a couple more times this year. Anyway, oh, I said the same thing about I said the same thing about Battlefront 2. I told you it'd be dead by February. I was wrong. It was dead by January. So, you know, no, anyone record that one. Hey, somebody get a tape recorder out.
Hey, I was just on that game last night, man. Come on.
Great. Just because you're on it doesn't mean it's alive.
Oh, there were so many people on there. I couldn't even, you know.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. But like, someone record crap. My whole thing is like,
they do.
They do. I know. No, I do. I think there's a couple, and it's not just me, Crap. You've got EA saying it. EA came out and said BioWare is on thin ice and Anthem's got to deliver. So I think they've seen what the product is, and it may be, you know, I think it's going to be good, but is it going to be? Is it going to be like a Division where like it does really good out the gate and then it died? And I know it did better because they went back and fought it. But what if EA doesn't, like, you know, give BioWare the money if it doesn't make it right off the gate? You know, I mean, they're not going to have that sustainment that maybe the division had to come back and do what they did with the other updates. I'm just saying there's a lot of variables.
I understand what you're saying, and we definitely got to keep an eye on it, especially with all the information coming out and everything. I think it's good, and it helps, perk people's ear when they hear free content, especially when it's story-based content. So that's a good thing. Like that really interested my brother. He was like, "Oh, it looks cool," but now he's like, "Oh, they're gonna focus on the story," especially if you're getting more of it later on. And it's BioWare. They always focus on that stuff. And yeah, it sucks because you don't have other elements to it. Like, I don't know if there's going to be a raid. I don't know if it's going to have, like, the Crucible type stuff. Or actually, they did say there's no multiplayer, right? So you're just going to be able to play the story-based missions with your friends, whether you do events or whether you do the story. I just hope that it's good enough to keep you there, and then good enough to make you come back every time they keep adding to it.
And that Foxy, when you say that, and I mean, you're saying it like, like everything is, like sunny skies and rainbows, but the thing about it is that like
24/7.
Yeah,
it is. It really is. Right. But like literally, I think the thing about it is what you're saying is something to keep an eye on, is something that's probably one of the hardest Rubik's cubes to like solve in the gaming world. Like it's really, really difficult to get people to like it out the bat, which I think Anthem's going to be a ton of fun out the bat. Right as soon as we get going, it is going to be a blast to be those like the Ranger and in those mech suits and be able to fly around the world. That is like awesome, absolutely awesome. But just a couple of things that are corny right off the bat, I think they're going to get rid of it, is, like when you start blasting your enemy and you saw like all those numbers come flying out, like 75,000, 68,000, 66,000. Hey, like, come on, dude. It's like, what is this, a 1980s arcade game?
No. They have that classically for like Diablo. You just need to see your hit numbers, like in those type of games.
Yeah. Well, they can tone the numbers down, but 87,000 doesn't need to come up when I hit a guy in the shoulder.
It's more
but
like
you know what I mean?
12,
like 12,000. The numbers are huge, crap. They're not small. It's not like 8.
Oh, okay. I was thinking of a different game because, I was playing.
Anthem.
And
you remember when Dead Rising 3 made fun of itself with that free DLC?
Yeah.
Stuff over. It was like 87,000 points. Remember that's what this looks like in Anthem. And I'm like, it needs to calm down. Like Dead Rising 3 did it to be funny and make fun of itself and make it look like it's an arcade game. This is like a legit game. So that was one of the comments. People were like, I hope they get rid of that. I think they will. I think they'll get rid of that. But my thing is like, I just think that the game has a lot to prove. And like Foxy said, the fact that there's no paid DLC and there's no paid this and there's no paid that, you wonder how many people are going to stick around the project if it's not a big hit right out the gate. And I don't know. There's a lot of variables. I'll be there day one. I'm definitely intrigued.
Yeah. Hey, good stuff.
Last thing I'll say is that's a really odd day. That day is going to be pretty rough for everyone.
Yeah, like I'm going to be Crackdown 3 all day.
That's what I want to play too.
Why would you play Crackdown 3 on another game where you have to keep up with the Joneses and you're going to fall behind to play? You can play Crackdown 3 whenever you want.
Dude, I have waited 4.5 years to play this damn game. I am playing Crackdown 3.
Wait another 2 months.
Man,
play Anthem.
Maybe, man.
I'm not listening.
Crackdown 3.
Oh, yeah. You can play, again, it goes back to what I was saying with Destiny. You can play multiple. I am playing Spider-Man in its entirety, and then I'm going back to Destiny. And you can do that, folks. There's things you can do. It's called time management.
Yeah.
Look it up on YouTube.
I will. I'm gonna. Thanks for the tip, Mooch. I'm gonna.
You're welcome. Life Lessons by Mooch.
We're writing down notes right now.
Yes.
Yeah, write that down.
I got a big book of them from Mooch. It's like the book of Mooch, and he's like,
the book of Mooch.
It's pretty great, man.
I can't wait.
I've learned a lot.
I wonder what that's gonna do on the bestsellers list.
It's gonna be great. I know that. Let's talk about another game that's quote unquote downgraded. Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Mooch, funny story. He DMs me and he goes, "Yo, why does this game look so bad here? What are they doing?" I don't know. Let me get back to you. So you look at it, and I don't know. It doesn't look amazing. But the footage that I saw from Digital Foundry on the Xbox One X looked great, right? It looks fantastic, 4K, all that kind of stuff. This footage looks like that really bad PC footage that we saw or something, or possibly it's maybe running on an Xbox at 60 frames and not the, doesn't have all the bells and whistles. But yeah, it looked a little suspect. He's like, this game cost $100 million, and I was like, yeah. I mean,
You know, realistically, crap, it kind of, and I think we were saying this, it looks like they were kind of debuting it, and the video we saw was all on performance mode, right? Yeah. So it would be in the 60 frame, which would be, maybe it's the 1080, but 1080p or 4K, that aside for this conversation, the face animations in the water didn't look so good. But again, I don't know. I mean, you also have this game was being played on one of the higher graphics card, and it didn't look at, maybe, I don't know if it's a game thing. I don't know what the problem is here. Maybe it's not a problem, but I'll tell you, it's definitely in the best interest of the developers to put out a damn good looking clip sometime really soon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how about you put a clip out that's beautiful?
Yeah.
I seen a lot of video, like clips and stuff from them showing that off, and it looks amazing. This one in particular looks really wonky.
Yeah.
Right, right. That's what I'm saying. Some of it looks great.
So everybody's like, "Yeah, what's with the downgrade?" Right? Like, hey, look, if Spider-Man taught anybody anything, right? Let's chill out on the downgrade talk, right? Right?
I hear that one, and also Forza.
I mean, come on. Forza's been downgraded.
Everything's downgraded this year.
Everything's downgraded. Yeah. So no,
downgrades is the new resolution talk.
Oh.
Right? It's the new resolution.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I have a feeling this game is going to be really good. I think it's going to go under the radar. Most people are probably more excited about like Spider-Man or Red Dead, and so hopefully it does well.
This is the issue that for some reason Tomb Raider. I can't even explain it. There's no reason Tomb Raider shouldn't be a mega hit. It should be a mega hit. It's one of those nostalgic games that we've been playing for generations back. The name is a household name. They made movies with Angelina Jolie. I don't whether you like them or you didn't. Angelina Jolie still gets like $20 million a movie.
We were talking about that last night. Those are great. Those are some great movies, Mooch.
When's the last time Angelina Jolie was in a movie?
Probably that Warranted or Salt.
20 million a movie. I don't know about that.
Well, anyway, she's getting a good amount.
She's a director now.
$8.
She's making movies.
She's making decent movies.
But with this whole thing, if I've learned anything on YouTube, performance doesn't matter. It's all about the gameplay. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah,
that's true.
Hold on.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, she's filming Maleficent 2. So she's got that. Hold on. She's doing voices in Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah.
She did this movie called By the Sea in 2015. So yeah, there's that. She's doing voice work in something called The One and Only Ivan. So yeah, there's that.
I can't wait for that.
Yes.
Wow, Ivan.
Yes, the one and only Ivan. So she's a busy girl. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she is.
She's
wow, interesting. Okay, so Tomb Raider is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I don't care about these little tiny clips and people want to nitpick. Oh my God, when she's moving around the water, I don't know what's happening here. The water's not even reacting. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that. That's really odd. But I'd rather wait for the game to come out. I'm going to play the game, and then we'll see what happens. I'm not going to nitpick every single clip.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that I was trying not to spoil myself on things, and then all this comes out, and now I'm like, oh, man.
Yeah. Like, Mooch, what do you think? Like, do you think it's weird? Okay, so they obviously have this trilogy of games with, like, her origin story, right? To switch developers on the third one. Do you find that a little odd? You know,
what odd?
That they switched the Tomb Raider developer for the third one in this trilogy.
Yeah, because here's the thing though, crap. So they did what we talked about this. The whole issue was that Crystal Dynamics went off to go make the Avengers game.
Yeah, that we still haven't heard anything about.
That we don't know anything about. See, this is another case of, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm not. I'm looking forward to Shadow. I think it's going to be great. I think the thing about it is that here's a situation where it's like, if you're going to have Crystal Dynamics who made these last two games and they made them so well, if they're off doing another project, and I know they're helping, but if they can't be fully committed, take the Tomb Raider thing, take a break. Like 2012 was when the other one came out, right? It was remade in 2014. This one came out in 2016. Rise came out in 2016, I believe. Or was it 2015 or 2016?
I think it was 15 or 16. Yeah, you're right. One of those two.
Right, one of those two, whichever. And here we are in 18. I mean,
2015.
They're just it ends up feeling like all these other games were just like boom, 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 cookie cutter. It's like, take a couple years off. We can come back. There's a million games coming out. There's 5 games coming out on February 22nd. Like, we don't need another, like, take it until Crystal Dynamics can put some more of their talent back there. Let it just cook in the oven. I don't know. This is one of those ongoing conversations where you're like, no, put it out. People are like, no, wait on it. I'm more leaning towards, now that we're in a situation where we're not going to have end of console generation like depth between games. Like, we're going to go like 6 months without a new game. That's not going to happen anymore. The architecture is all the same, moving into Scarlet or PS5. We're not going to have these lulls anymore. So we don't need to rush games out. Take time, make them right, make them by the true developer, and get them out. So time will tell here, Crap. I think Shadow will be great, but I do think that, like, realistically, you know, it could come with some backlash.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's already getting all the backlash. People saying that it doesn't have great marketing. Nobody's talking about it. Who cares? Tomb Raider's gonna look the same as the other ones. Like, it's already happening.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't mind that it's coming out. And it just feels like Crystal Dynamics just handed out their project over. So it wasn't like, oh, good luck making that from scratch. I think they just gave them all the assets, and then they had to put it together, basically. And they were there watching over them, over their shoulder.
Yeah, they assisted, actually.
I'm good. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I don't understand all the craziness, and yeah, I understand there's a lot of games coming out and stuff, so it's getting buried. But the other one got buried underneath Fallout, and I thought it was amazing.
Yeah, hey, I agree. And let me make one more point real quick. When people go, "Oh, you're just excited for that crap because you hate Sony and Spider-Man," no, you can look back. Rise of Tomb Raider was the unanimous vote for Game of the Year by BGST and myself in 2015. And the reboot in 2013 was my Game of the Year, co-Game of the Year with BioShock Infinite that year. So so 2 games that were Game of the Year for me personally. Of course, I'm going to be excited for the third one. This rounds out the trilogy. And so I'm very excited to play it. Salty, what did you think? Are you excited about this game?
Yeah, honestly, it's crazy to me that people are downplaying it, not giving its props. I'm trying to figure out what it is, because this game has similarities to so many good games, you know, and it has its history. And when you think of Lara Croft, you think gaming, you know, she's up there with those icons, and the other 2 games are so good. And like we've said before, it's not like they're passing it off to some, you know, has-been developer or whatever. They have to come up with a new engine, new assets. It's like the you know, the foundation's there, people. They're not going to just let this go to waste. And it's weird to me that I'm hearing so many different conflicting stories. I think it was Dealer that said that he's heard some people say it was better than the first, which had a really good Metacritic, really good graphics. And then I'm hearing this other stuff, and I'm seeing others. It's just like, come on, people. It is what it is. We've seen a lot of examples of some stories like this coming out, the Downgrade story, and then what do we see? The results. It's amazing, you know?
And especially on the X, like what we saw from Digital Foundry looks amazing. What I saw on the X, so like that's more or less what I'm going to trust. Yobi back with more. Thank you, bro. I'm loving you in the chat, man. Like you're the MVP. He says, everyone on the panel, what made you fall in love with video games and your system of choice? Killer Instinct is what sold me for Xbox One. Gaming as a whole and culture helps with my sanity and gaming life. Hey, that's a great question. To be honest with you, man. Killer Instinct, when I heard the voice and the combo and all that stuff
combo breaker.
Yeah, exactly. I knew I was getting an Xbox One first, right? And so I'm with you on that. What got me into gaming was just when you're a kid, man, and I saw people playing video games, and I was like, man, I want to do that. And then as an adult, dealing with a little bit of anxiety and stuff, and it was easy to kind of have some of that escapism through video games. And so I use video games as a form of escapism. You have fun. That's probably why I really like stuff like Sea of Thieves or playing multiplayer games mostly, because you get that, like, it's almost like a bowling league, or you go and hang out, you know, it's like new age of that. And so I enjoyed that most of all, and it's just really good fun for me personally. You know, I just something about it.
Crap,
you know?
real quick, if we go back to, I just want to, because Salt always likes his facts, so I just want to make sure. I just looked up on this one site, Angelina Jolie commands hefty sums for her acting skills, While top actors and actors generally earn 15 to 20 million per movie, according to Time magazine, Jolie received 33 million to star in Disney's Maleficent. So I'm just saying,
overpaid.
Absolutely. That's a whole other conversation. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, like, that's my whole point is just that I'm shocked that this game, which warrants the title of Tomb Raider and all those movies, and grab that. You know, you would think that when this game says, "Hey, we got a new game coming out," you think people would be lined up because of the nostalgia factor alone, and you just don't hear about it. You don't feel it.
It was an amazing reboot. That's why it's awesome.
I never even saw that movie, so yeah.
Oh my god, Mooch bringing up that stuff, it makes me want, instead of saying sports, I'd be like, Angelina,
yeah,
Angelina.
Like, hey, those Tomb Raider movies were good. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah, for two specific reasons.
Yes, they were.
Oh my god, nerd.
I know, right?
Okay, so
go ahead.
Yeah, to answer the question for the super chat, shout out to you guys. What made me fall in love with gaming was Sonic and playing Sega with my brothers. That's what made me fall in love with gaming. And I was like, I want to do this all the time. I want to try other games. I want to play other systems. I want to see what the difference are. Yeah. And it was Sonic the Hedgehog 2. That's what made me fall in love with it. And then I kept going, tried all kinds of games. And now I just love Xbox. I love the community. I love just everything about it. And specifically Gears of War. It's amazing. Can't pass that up. And that's the reason why I'm still in the system. So yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Salty? What got you into gaming? Why do you game, man?
Let me tell you. All right, I think it's kind of like the first time that people get addicted to drugs or whatever. They didn't know that they're addicted before they tried it. Video games is like that for me, man. I remember seeing Super Mario Brothers at my cousin's house. I'm like, holy crap, this looks cool. And I tried it and I was addicted. I love it. I've been addicted ever since. I love video games. I love playing them. Passionate about it. Xbox, it's just Halo, baby. That's what brought me in, and that's why I'm still here.
Hell yeah, Mooch. What brings the Mooch to gaming, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll tell you. I'll kind of piggyback a little bit off of what Salty was saying. One of the things was being able to go and play in the arcade and playing Super Mario Bros. In the arcade, and then actually being able to play it when I got the NES, and I was like, wow, I'm actually playing a game that I was playing in the arcade at my house. That was one. And number two, to be honest with you, the big thing that kind of the time I can say that I knew that gaming would be a big part of my life for probably the rest of my life was playing a lot of the, believe it or not, JRPG games with my dad and family. Like that was a family thing. And we try to do that same thing here, try to bring gaming into the family. And that was when I was like, you know what, this is something the whole family's doing. I love playing video games. And the fact that the whole family kind of get around this, and it was something that brought everyone together, that was when it locked in. And I think a lot of people in the chat, I think a lot of people that listen to these podcasts, I think a lot of people that we all interact with on a daily basis may not have the exact same story, but they have a similar story. It could have been their best friend, their neighbor, their aunt, their uncle, their parents, their sibling, no matter how you want to slice or dice it. Or maybe now they're a parent and they're enjoying games with their kids. Yeah. So either way, no matter how you slice or dice it, I think that you've had an interaction with someone very close in your life and been able to game with that person and see that, like, gaming it's an interesting thing. It's not just, a lot of people just think it's something that's a corny pastime, which the minute somebody says that, I'm like, what are you on the 18th episode of Survivor or The Voice? What are you doing at night that's so much better than we are? Right. So I think that gaming is, I think it's unique. I think a lot of people are intimidated that don't game. They're intimidated by the controller and the game and the menu systems and the UI. Yep. And people are like, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I'm like, have you ever even picked up a controller? Well, no. Well, no kidding. We'll give it a shot. Don't knock it till you try it.
Yeah, don't knock it till you try it. Right? Like, have you picked up Octopath Traveler yet, though?
Apparently, it is being mooched to me this week. Reports will come in later on.
Oh, okay. I'd be very interested to see if that's something you can actually achieve to mooch. It's hard to mooch a Switch game.
Supposedly it is coming on. It is en route.
Awesome.
But we'll find out.
That is awesome. So yeah, we got a bunch of gamers here. That's awesome. So Blackout for Call of Duty. Excuse me, I'm up. 80 players. Mooch, what do you think about this? Interested that apparently there's zombies in it. Hey, let's throw some zombies in there.
Oh yeah, there's zombies.
They pulled Captain Stu Nuts out, so it's already couple of stars higher on my.
I love Captain Stu Nuts. How dare you talk about Captain Stu Nuts like that?
You know, to be honest with you, Crap, this game's gonna be great. It's gonna sell great. It is. It's gonna do really well. It just is. And I know you guys are really excited about reloading. Crap! Hurry up and bring some fuel for this crop duster. We gotta get going. You
know there's vehicles on Blackout, right?
Yeah, there's
okay,
yes,
cool.
there are vehicles.
Okay, cool. Just making sure you know that. Yeah, that's all.
There are vehicles. Not quite in the same manner that Battlefield 5 is putting them forth.
They have helicopters. But it's
hurry,
a different
your
game mode.
And repair this helicopter.
No, Salty, no. In Battlefield 5, you can put the hitch in the
tow
out.
We're talking about COD. You're talking about Battlefield. We're talking about COD. I'm talking about the vehicles in COD. That's
the zombies bring that new dimension, all right?
Shout out to Sir X-Man. Sir X-Man, I didn't see it yet, but I will be watching it tonight. Sir X-Man is really... I got to give Sir X-Man credit. A lot of people say good salesmanship. Sir X-Man is a huge Battlefield fan, and he is not stopping. He is determined to get Mooch to be a Battlefield fan.
Dude,
so
you should just hop on and
I need to game with him.
It. Yeah, and play.
X-Men.
Yeah, look, Battlefield 5, you got to go into it with an open mind.
I'm gonna try it, Crap. Yeah, sure.
I would say try it out. Yeah, go ahead. Salty.
I'm just hoping it kind of fails, not because I want it to fail, but I just want that battle royale to be free. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to be free.
For the Battlefield 5, you heard the rumors, right? If it does bad, they have that contingency plan.
Yeah. What is it? The fire...
Ring of Fire?
Yeah, Ring of Fire or something.
Yeah,
well, consider it...
I don't care about that.
Yeah.
You guys say contingency plan. I say consider it free.
Yeah.
That's right. You can count on that, Salt.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like the guy in his nail on his head in Happy Gilmore. He's like, you can count on me, shooter, waiting for you in the parking lot. That is going to happen. So don't you worry about it, Salt. But, getting back to COD, like Foxy was saying, realistically, I think it's missing the single player element. And for all you guys that are upset about that, I'm sorry. I personally don't play Call of Duty for the single player element. I understand that a lot of the hardcore fans do. However, the casuals and the other 800 million people that buy it don't. So apparently I don't think I do think you'll see the story come back next year. Crap, you're gonna get your single player back next year. No doubt. We realize what the issue is here. I think they were trying to do something unique. I think it failed, and I think they reverted back and they were like, let's just double down and use all these talent and all this money we have on making. There's people that are coming out with free battle royale games every day. People in garages, this and that. There was even somebody who told me, come on, Mooch, give Cliffy B a chance with Radical Heights. It might be fun. If somebody's going to say that about Radical Heights, right, exactly, then if you're going to take Treyarch and Activision money, trust me, this is going to be fantastic. So realistically, look, I think you're really going to dig it. The Call of Duty multiplayer is Call of Duty multiplayer. If you don't like zombies, I'm not a big zombie fan, but I'm looking to see if they do something different with this one and having a story. You guys, I got to have a story. Someone give me a story. If there's a story, I'm out. Well, you got a story. So, it's like an Agatha Christie book kind of story with zombies in it, right? I don't know.
I'm surprised they actually got 80 people in this, to be honest with you.
That's a good amount of people, yeah.
It is. I'm actually kind of surprised. So, anybody else got anything on this blackout mode? Zombies, I
like the map size. Somebody said that the map size is decent, but not overly large, and that's a big deal. That's why, shout out to Spider-Man in the chat. That's what's making that new map on PUBG so much fun, is that it's smaller. There's interaction. The game actually takes place. Yep. When we were playing PUBG originally, I mean, really? You can land anywhere in that initial circle, and then you can go visit your friend and come back later. You would not even die. It was too long. We need faster interaction. Nobody wants to play an hour and a half game of Battle Royale. People want to play 15 to 20 minutes, and then you make it, you win. If you don't, I start over.
Well, I don't know. The reason why PUBG is like that is because you have to look around for supplies and shit. I don't know how they're going to do that in COD. I think you have to spawn in with your own loadout, to be honest. So maybe that's why, because it's going to be a quicker pace type of thing.
Yeah.
But, I feel like overall the whole game, besides like the blackout stuff, it just feels lazy. A lot of the stuff is refurbished, like from other games, and they're putting it together now. And then I think the most differences with it would be the multiplayer stuff. That's going to be different. And then everything in Blackout is grabbed from other stuff, and then they just put it together.
It's different, but the same.
Same.
Right? same, but different, but still the same. That's my favorite GIF on Twitter right now.
It really is great.
Aside from the Malcolm in the Middle one where they're like sinking.
Oh,
they're just so great. Yeah, they're just like happy about it. Like, la 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 la. Yeah. So anyway, Firestorm Battlefield is 64 players. I'm interested to see more about that as well. Battlefield 5 beta is going on right now. If you have EA access, well, if you have EA access, it's going on right now. Tomorrow, I think it's open for everyone, right, Fox?
Yep, tomorrow it goes live.
So I'm not sure how long it lasts. How long? Does
I think
it
lasts until next week.
Yeah. So it's you know, it's very interesting because I wasn't sure what to expect, right? I was kind of with you a little bit. I was like, it maybe looks a little bit like Battlefield 1-ish. But at the same time, when I actually go in there and play, first of all, the graphics, you'll notice it looks so much better, right? Because when we got Battlefield 1, remember, we just had a regular Xbox One and an S. And I remember like some of the stuff being really blurry and the frame rate was bad. So I played this. I've had none of that. They've also changed a lot of the stuff, like the guns are much better, right? Because there's a lot more automatic. There's not all that single shot kind of stuff that we had to deal with. There's no horses. The planes aren't crop dusters. You know, there's everybody can be a medic and help you up, although it takes a little bit longer. So I actually like that. You know, the ability to kind of use the health and stuff like that. Just the whole the map sizes. From what we played, just really mind blowing. You actually feel like you're in a battlefield, and I think that's what's cool about this. Like, and so I wasn't real sold on it, but I think I might be sold on it now from playing the beta. So if you weren't real sure about the game, I'd say try out the beta. And see
then you'll know.
It. Yeah, like the ability to spawn on your teammate is huge. You know, like that.
Yeah, they brought that back. They had that before, and then for some reason, they took it away to a certain extent because it looked differently, so people weren't sure how to. But they fixed all that stuff, so it's way easier now. I love the destruction. There's way more destruction, but you could build, which I think is really weird. Like, I don't know how I feel about it yet, but the fact that you could build up your point that you're picking up the flag, and then you could build around it. You could put sandbags or whatever. I think that's interesting, but I don't know if I like it just yet, just because I like blowing everything up, and I'm so used to like the building being destroyed. So when I see people fixing stuff, I'm like, what the hell? That's so weird. I'm gonna go kill people and revive people, and you're over here playing Bob the Builder. So I don't know how I feel. That's kind of odd.
Building crap? You don't like building? Oh no!
Yeah, hey,
what are you gonna do? Somebody play the Fortnite theme song.
Hold on. There's not.
Dude, no, there's no dancing. No, get out of here. No dancing.
Let me point this out real quick. Let me point this out real quick, Booch. It's not building, like, as far as I can tell, like you're building a skyscraper, right?
No.
You fortify the building. Right?
You fix the house that's already messed up.
You fix that, because here's the thing: you can blow up the houses completely. Like the full on destruction, like real.
Well, when it's completely rubble, you can't fix that. But if it's still intact, you can fix the windows and shit and board them up.
Yeah, like earlier when I was trying to figure out the game, because me and Fox were playing before we hopped on Xbox Nation, and I was like, why do I got a hammer? And then
that was funny.
I was trying to switch to my guns, right? And I'm like, how the hell? And then I died with a hammer in my hand. So yeah, that
I was like, he's in the building.
Hey, what do I do with this hammer?
Yeah.
Oh, dead already. Thanks, Battlefield.
But the guns, it has better gunplay in this one compared to one. If I don't know if you guys played one and you were like, it seems very sluggish and slow. This is way better. It's faster and smoother. So I really like that. And it's customizable.
I actually didn't think one was slow at all.
Well,
you're telling me this one's faster? Great.
Well, some people thought that. I had no problem with the first one, but in this one, the gunplay is better, is what I'm saying. And it's more customizable, so you can mess with your clip, the stock of your gun, the scope of your gun, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Okay, so the beta ends September 11th.
Yes. Actually, I just looked it up, so I was going to say, next week.
That's a long-running beta.
Yeah, they're trying. Well, I mean, they're trying to get some hype and stuff for
They're desperate, you know? You gotta.
Yeah, they really are.
Oh,
most days are like 2 days. They're like, try it or too bad. This one's here is like, try it or maybe tomorrow, the day after that, or if you want to come back next Wednesday, we're still open.
Well,
Right?
the blackout
How long's the beta open till? Oh,
is-
November 19th.
The blackout beta is going from the 10th to the 17th on PlayStation.
Yeah.
So that's a long ass time too.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, okay, that was different. Get out of here.
Wait, what is it?
The blackout.
No, your Fox's. Go ahead.
the blackout is from the 10th on PlayStation to the 17th. So that's a long ass time.
It's a full week. That's PlayStation. We're probably getting it for a half hour on Xbox.
Yeah.
we get it on the 14th to the 17th. That's it.
Yeah, that's more. I mean, that's the whole like, yeah, Sony paid for it. You know, I mean, they're good on Sony to do that. That's why Microsoft got rid of. I don't know. These are the days they had no money. I know, I got it. But like realistically, right? Call of Duty's been the 800-pound gorilla in the room forever, and it's like, hey, boss, yep, this is the only thing that's really truly making anything on marketing. Cut it.
Yeah.
What? Cut you? What is it? What's happening? Well, get out of here, dude. We got to keep Call of Duty. This is just one of those things that like the fans. It's a fan service thing. Sony picked up.
Well, people like it. I mean, but I would say this year's a good thing not to be attached to that because that game's crap. So,
basically.
I want to quick hit some of these topics. Henry Cavill, who plays Superman, he's cast as Geralt in the Netflix Witcher series. I was just curious, like, what everybody thought about this, like, kind of real quick.
I think it's a good pickup.
Yeah, I mean, he was in the show called The Tudors back in the day about Henry VIII, right? And
was he good in it?
Yeah, he was very. Yeah, he was pretty damn good at it. So I could definitely see him in. It was that kind of Victorian era or whatever. So it was sort of like this, So I could definitely see him be that character. So I think you get a big name actor like that tied to it. It could bring some legitimacy to what's traditionally not really thought of as a great like adaptations of games. And I know that there's also novels of Witcher, but obviously this is also based off the game. So, having a good version of this could be actually pretty cool stuff. Predator says Two Doors was the shit. Yeah, I remember that. That was a really good show. There was a lot of, never mind. Go ahead.
I think it's a perfect pickup for Netflix, honestly. Just the fact his name recognition.
Yep.
He's actually trying to get paid like an A-list star for Superman, and I guess they were kind of scoffing at that when it came to DC and the movies and stuff like that. Yeah. But he actually stated that he's a fan of the series. He's played the games, read the books and stuff like that. And they came out with a poster that looks badass. Definitely check that out. So I think they're going to drum up a lot of interest, and I think the lore behind. Especially with the books and the game, I think this is going to be their Game of Thrones, or try to be. I think they're going to push it pretty hard. So it's good shit.
Hey, I mispronounced the Tudors. Excuse me. I don't. Like I'm not a genius when it comes to pronouncing this stuff. Like maybe Like come on, man. Cut me some slack here. I'm trying here. Like. Yeah. What do you think, Moo? What do you think, Foxy? I'm sure you probably think something. Yeah, about this casting of Henry Cavill.
Can't wait for them to CGI his beard on there. That's gonna be cool.
Get it? Because they did that to his mustache in that terrible Justice League movie. Awful.
That's it. I got nothing. I mean, he's not. I don't think he's a great actor, but he's good. And I mean, I'm not looking forward to Witcher. I know a lot of people are. So cool.
Yeah. Interesting.
I think it could be cool.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be cool too. PUBG version 1.0 finally released on Xbox. They announced 9 million players. Mooch, did you get a chance to play it, Mooch? And what do you think?
I did.
I played it yesterday. The new map, I died instantly every single time.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, I don't like everybody's there. Everybody. So
no, that didn't happen to me at all. I mean, I gotta say, we landed. We did our whole like scavenging. And I made it almost every time into the top, at least the top 20, top 10. It was a lot of fun. I dig it, man. I really, really do. I like how now there's a plethora of weapons all over in that map. No one likes to hear this, but they were like, hey, the Fortnite model works. Let's do that. It's a smaller map, lots of weapons all over the place, shorter time. The circles close faster. That's what we want. Don't just stick. Well, no, we made it first, and we said a circle has to last 15 minutes. Well, tough shit. You're wrong. You know, so you shorten it and make it like everybody just wants to pick up and play. I remember it was like we played a match, and it was like, all right, it's getting late. I really got to get up and go to work the next morning. They're like, one more match. And I'm like, you know what? Let's do it. It's only 15 minutes. It's worth your time to play. And if you happen to land, like you say, crap, and you don't get very far, it's 2 minutes. But I mean, a 15-minute round is doable, and it makes people want to pick up the controller and play it whenever. So bravo to them for putting that mode in there. Yeah,
I get it. I got to say, it runs much smoother when I played it. Also, I wanted to say, Christina Hendricks as Triss in the Witcher show would be great. If you don't know who she is, Google is your friend. So I'll leave that at that. Yeah, so like I like that. They ran smoother. I thought it looks pretty good. That map was great. Like what do they do? Some map rotations now, right? Right?
Yeah, there's map rotations. You can do the map rotations too. I just played the one.
You have no idea who that is, Salty?
Nope, I'm Googling it right now. No,
Google that. Thank me later. So anyway, I enjoyed it. I thought I want to spend a little bit more time. Thanks, Sir X-Man. He says, Mooch, will you be playing Battlefield 5 with us?
I will. Sir X-Man has already told me he's mooching it to me. So if he does, guess what, Sir X-Man? Mooch will be there, okay? Saluting and all. I will be there.
Yes, so there you go.
I never look a gift mooch in the whatever. You guys fill it in. I'll take it. Sure.
Yeah. So
of course I'll play.
Hey, hit that like button. We're closing in on 200 likes. I appreciate it, guys. You must have saw that now, huh, Salty?
Yeah, I looked it up. I know who she is. She was in Mad Men, right? Swing.
Yeah. She was in Mad. Yep. She's been in a lot of stuff, but she would make a good Triss.
Yep.
Since she's redheaded, and nothing else. No other reason. Just because she's redheaded.
That's all there is to it.
That's all there is to it. So with that, we might as well start doing some outros. I told Mooch that I would end a little bit early because he's got another 2 hours of podcasting to do today.
Yes.
Where are you going to be, Mooch? What are you going to be doing?
All right. Man? Well, you can immediately join me after Xbox Nation. I'm going over to Enrique's channel at BRAP, Basement Radio Arcade Podcast, and I'm going down there hanging out with the guys over there, seeing what's going down. And then we've got the greatest day of all time tomorrow, folks. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be tweeting out the console. You'll be seeing some stuff. And then we've got Crossfire, which, listen, I supposedly might have a great panel member joining us if he can make it. So I don't want to overhype it quite yet, but I'm excited. I hope he'll join us. I know Crap's a big fan of him as well.
M&C will be mornings this Sunday.
Yes, M&C mornings.
Because Mooch is busy tomorrow.
Yes.
So we're gonna be, so M&C mornings this Sunday is going to be us giving away whoever won the Spider-Man Guess That Metacritic. And we're also going to be doing the Patreon wheel spin as well. So there's lots of stuff to give away. Metacritic. Yeah. It's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to that as well. It's going to be Sunday. So make sure you guys mark your calendars on Mooch's channel this Sunday. So looking forward to that. Salty, what do you got going on, man? You got no lead in tomorrow for the podcast. But hey, man, it's going to be good.
Don't worry, guys. We got you covered for podcast tomorrow. The Saltiest Gaming Podcast, 9:00 Eastern. Okay, we got you covered. Also, I just want to give a shout out to all these great people on this panel. I was in a bad mood. I'm not gonna lie. I had a shitty day, and I talked to these guys. I talk games, and I'm in a great mood now. So you guys are awesome.
Nice.
Yeah, you're awesome, bro. You're awesome.
That's it, man. You guys are gamers. I love gamers. I love everything. It's awesome. Anyway, it's great. Great.
Great. Yes.
Great.
And Foxy, what do you got going on? I know you've released some videos.
Hell yeah. So check out my channel, please. I just passed 1,600. Right? Well, yeah, because I got a new milestone on my subscribers. So check out my latest video so you can know how to enter. You can get Forza Horizon 3 if you haven't got your hands on it before 4 comes out. So check that out.
Nice.
What else? Oh yeah, Twitter. Follow me on Twitter. Cool. Yep. And then catch me on Battlefield because that's what I'm going to be playing most of the time. So if you guys want to join me, tomorrow's the open beta. But if you pre-order it or you have EA access, you could play right now.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And I appreciate you guys all, coming out here and hit that like button, share it, all that kind of stuff. We'll catch you later. Have a great time. Game on. We'll catch you later. Rack 'em up.
Peace.
Bye.
Later.